The terrors of tripping on pumps.
Be there! Scour the spaceways! Explore vast alien worlds!
This tin right here contains the whole rigmarole.
I used to smoke about an ounce of hash every day.
Good.
And it made me go a little bonkers.
Maybe if I occupy his mind with more duties, I can control his space.
Hi.
Big fat doobies.
Hi.
Hi. What's up, everybody? Today is Saturday, July 4th, 2020, episode 206 of the Hot Box. I'm Matt. That's Grand. What's up, Grand?
What's up, buddy? How you doing today?
Good, man. Let's just take a minute and wish America a good old hearty happy birthday. Happy birthday, America. How old are you now?
Happy birthday, like 28 at least.
I think it's older than that. We've had centennials. 244. Thank you, Dab Dads. I don't know.
I was close. I was close.
If that's the number for what we were talking about or something they're talking about in the chat. But thank you.
Something around there. Yeah, we're getting there. We're still a young nation.
Hotbox.earth, that's the website. You can check it out. Discord, we got links up there for that. Part of the Dabs subreddit, so definitely come and hang out with us. We're always here throughout the week, just chatting about weed and dabs and glass and stuff. Got a full house tonight. Pretty cool to see you guys all here. We'll start things off with the giveaway. Get that out of the way. If you are in the Dabs Discord, you can go to the announcements channel, and you'll see this big old paragraph stacked on paragraphs of
It's a very well put together paragraph.
I thought so. I proofread it. I sent it to 3 of my old editors from my magazine days. I sent a copy to Peter Parker, and they all said thumbs up. So
I'm going to be trying to take a step back from writing because apparently my grammar is about as good as a 4-year-old. So
I mean,
Matt will probably be taking over with that from now on.
Words are hard. English even
Words
more so.
Are hard. They're there and there. I can't tell you where it is.
Here's the giveaway. There's a bunch of ways to get entries. You all, if you are here right now, there's a post pinned in the thing. Just hit the cookie so we know you were here. And then go in the announcements page, hit the cookie on that, and help spell out
It's hit
cookie.
the mat, not the cookie.
Hit the mat here. Hit the cookie there.
We are taking screenshots to make sure we get everybody, but it'll make it easier if you guys all go up and hit the pin message in the Hotbox chat message for us so we can count you guys easier.
So we got a Pelican 1150 full of glass goodness here. I got a Sarglass clear wedge dabber, which is the perfect shape for the Diamond Knot, J-Red Diamond Knot 14 mil. That's going to be
that dabber is so pretty, the shape of that thing.
I like it. It's the only wedge one he made. The rest were points and scoops. But for a diamond knot, you want something like a bread knife that just, like a butter knife, it just butters that thing like that. Oh, yeah. So this is
every time you talk about the giveaways, I feel like I'm watching Pornhub.
It gets me excited. I'm passionate about this.
I'm passionate.
The Dab Like Matt kid, if you've ever wanted to try a diamond knot because you see how much fun I have with them.
Dab Like Matt kid.
And then here's the rig. Imperial Glass Sour Gang, Purple Green, Sour Gummies, the Forbidden Candy. Oh, they look
that's so pretty.
Good. 5-hole Puck, and TI signed, hashtagged, and all that Sour Gang on the bottom. So
that's like my favorite color green, too.
There she
and
is.
It's signed by the artist. Did you put that in the giveaway thing that it's actually signed?
Yeah, I mean most of
the
stuff on Spog has titanium signatures on them. All the Philpott stuff, the majority of Keebler's stuff. Not every artist signs their work, but if they do, I try to get them to sign it because it's like a little extra. Like, cool, this is actually real. And then we got an Imperial sticker, a J-Red sticker, Sandahan, which is my friend that I got all of these bottles from and stuff. So there you go. We're going to let it run through next episode and then the episode after that. So not the 11th.
I do want you all to remember this is brought to you by Sweet Piece of Glass. They are the one who making a lot of this giveaway happen.
Ooh, holler.
Okay, but, never mind. That giveaway piece might be broken now. But
That's what the Pelly's for. Solid. So next episode, we're going to have Murphy Murray on. She's going to come talk to us about fake dabs and CRC and why perhaps your CRC tasted bad while somebody else's tasted like the best dabs they've ever had. So join us.
Pretend I've never heard of her before. Who is she?
She's just an extractor scientist on Instagram that does classes. She's part of the Good Life Gang with Future 4200. If you ever go to read on that forum, they have like different extractor tips and SOPs and stuff like that. And then if you join their Good Life Gang, you get discounts through a bunch of different companies in the industry. Like if you need a vac oven, you could get a discount from Across or AI or whatever. And if you need like some extractor gear, you can get discounts through like Precision. And I don't know. They have a whole list of their companies.
The fact that she does classes, though.
Yeah, she does classes and teaches CRC, and she's really a proponent of like doing it right, keeping your lab clean, doing everything properly so that you don't have that shitty experience that a lot of people, if you read on fake dab subreddit or even dab subreddit, some of these people are having. So I thought it'd be cool, since there's a lot of that stuff floating around out there, to have someone that's way, way more knowledgeable than I am come talk to you guys about it. So throughout the week, if you guys think of any questions in particular that you want us to bring up to her, I know a lot about the CRC and what the different tastes some of you might be experiencing and why the different dab material comes out looking the way it does. Some of it looks beautiful. Some of it looks like milky white, like jizz, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, anything like that, we'll chat with her about it next week. So that'll be on the 11th for episode 207.
Ooh, I would like to stop here and welcome Tooth.
Oh,
he is here with us again.
What up, dog?
I think he is. I'm not sure. He never wants to talk on the show, so we can't really ever know for sure.
Nice. I want to give a shout out to the new sentient AI dab god bot that is in our chat room. I had an interesting little conversation with it the other night, and I was like, "Are you real?" And Dab God
Are you
was
real?
Like, yeah, I am, bro. And I was like, "Oh my god."
I seen that. I was like, "How high are you?"
So
yes, we are actually reviving Dabbot. Dab God, sorry. Which I don't know. You weren't here around for this, man.
No, I wasn't.
I don't know if Tooth was or not. But Dab God was originally brought around in the beginning of the server with Zam and myself. We started making a bot to do a timer, so you would be able to go like exclamation point 40 space 20, and it would count down for 40 seconds, and then it would count down for 20 seconds, giving you that option to heat for that 40 seconds and wait for that 20 seconds and actually kind of do a custom timer. And then you could dab with it. So you actually didn't even need a timer to dab.
That's pretty
And then
cool.
we had other kind of cool things like he put some kind of program in there that actually talks with you a little bit, which is what you were experiencing is the AI of it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But we have a lot of cool ideas that we can implement into there. So if there are any coders that are listening or anybody who knows Python or any of the big coding languages, contact me or Matt or any of our moderation team, because we could definitely use you to help to make this awesome. Because our leader now, Adam, is probably going to make it pretty cool, and I'm sure he could use all the help that he can get.
Yeah, that's super sweet. And while we're talking about that, shout out to our new ambassadors here in the Discord. We got Milk Mother and Vinter stepping up to be the new server ambassadors. So props to y'all.
Welcome, you guys.
You're not mods, so you can still enter the giveaway.
Yes. We allow our ambassadors to enter because they don't run it like all the moderators do, so they can't really fix it for themselves or anything. And we feel that it's still fair for them. And even for me, though, I think it was actually Milk Mother who was a big proponent of this. Didn't want me to be a part of it because if I would win, it would be rigged. Is that right, Milk?
That's interesting.
I think I remember that.
I'll have to let you borrow the banhammer if you and her need to have a conversation.
I might just have to forget to put her names in this contest.
Damn, you can't even say that. I can't believe you went there.
You can't even say that.
Now I'm gonna have to send this other sour bottle I have to her just because you did that. Thank you. Just bleeding me dry over here, boys.
Bleeding me dry.
Let's get into some stuff from the RDAB subreddit. A little update from last week. We had Manjo Just Pawn posting the Frankenbong that they were creating, and they posted another update video of it, the work in progress, with the little heater coil wrapped around the nectar collector thing. You can see the link in the chat whenever Tooth or Vinter pull that shit up. There you go. So the video's pretty sweet. That thing is definitely like ominous looking. It looks like if you touched it the wrong way, it would just shock the shit out of you. But
God's chiming into the chat.
I also like how he loads it. I don't know if you guys are watching the video, but definitely check it out. But it's like he just put the dab in the hot hole. It's an interesting format.
What the fuck?
Right? He just like inserts it into the hole there.
This dude's like fucking a hot hole.
Oh, it's so good. Stoner engineering.
I swear to God, he has his electronics in a fucking Tupperware bin.
I like some of the comments too. Fun Knug Pro is like literally an e-nail with extra steps followed up. He says, or she, Manjo Just Pawn says, it works so well and it heats up in 15 seconds. Been hitting at 350 degrees and all the vapor stays in the circuit, so it's super efficient. So, pretty cool. I don't know if
I'm not a scientist, and I don't know stats well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a dab will vaporize at 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
I mean,
if that's what he said. Did he say Fahrenheit or Celsius? If it's Celsius, that's extremely fucking hot.
Yeah, it's too hot if it's Celsius, but maybe, I mean, that's hot enough to get some cannabinoids in a lot of the terpenes, but I think you're going to be left with a lot, but maybe they're reheating it or something. I don't know. Yeah, it just says
62 degrees Fahrenheit is 350 Celsius, so that would actually make complete sense.
Yeah, maybe. I'm kind of looking through the comments. It doesn't really specify if it's C or F.
I don't know. Tooth says that Delta 9 THC boils at 314 degrees Fahrenheit.
Depending on your elevation. It does actually make a little difference. If you are like in San Diego versus in like Denver or something, those times will definitely vary. Because of elevation and boiling points. And science and shit.
Because science.
I thought this was kind of cool. Anon Earthling posted this up in the Dab subreddit. Little dab bar that they made for their wife. I like how it's like clean, and I like triangles. I just always like pyramids, triangles. That's like just dope shit. And then they have like the table below it. So you have everything, all your weed, some teacups, some glass. Like, I just really like it. It's a really nice, clean build for keeping all of your stuff. If you look at like my table downstairs, or like Dab Dad's in the chat, I know he's got like a whole dab bathroom set up. And it's just like me and him just have like all of this shit on tables, and it just like hangs out there. But like, this is nice. It's clean. It reminds me of the first house when I first moved to Oregon. It had, next to like the sliding glass door that went to the backyard, it had this big like showcase of sorts with two sliding glass windows in it and then shelves. So I put like my bongs and glass and shit in those things, which I really liked. But no such luck here.
No, that is really cool though. I like those jade figurines.
Yeah. It's a clean build for sure. If
I don't see a lot of dab stuff there though. It's just kind of like the few rigs that are on there, and then like a bunch of teacups and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's still really cool.
They need to head on over to sweetpieceofglass.com and get some more
and fill up
glass,
those shelves.
or possibly even Gary's Glass Adventure.
Shameless plug.
Shameless, baby. Vinter in the chat posted the sheet for vaporization temperatures. That's always a good guide to have on your phone if you ever need to know when does benzene vaporize. Well, 401F. F in the chat for vaping benzene. I thought this was kind of cool. Dutch Hawaiian posted this cool little carb cap holder, and I think it was made from a 3D printer, so I wanted to kind of toss a little inspiration from this towards Mr. Tooth there. And,
there you go, buddy.
If you want to make some cool little like stands for fucking caps and shit, there's a good spot.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
And Dutch Hawaiian has an Etsy there you can see in the comments if you check out the subreddit post where he's got some other designs and stuff. So definitely check it out. I thought that was pretty cool. I know having caps is like, after you use them a few times, they're sticky. So if you don't clean them, like you set them on your table or whatever, and now that table's sticky and everything that touches that's going to be sticky.
Or even if you have like a carb cap holder or some kind of jar that holds it, like mine, I just use old jars, but
this is cool though because it's like
after a while.
Clean and like it's made for the cap. I don't know. I kind of like it.
Right.
I was using for a while those, and I still have them up here. It's like those silicone ashtrays that have like all the different size holes around the edges, so you can set your different caps and dabbers and shit in those. Those work really well, but they're not as cool looking as this. I think this is pretty sweet looking. And then let's see.
Wait, am I reading this right? Like, this is fucking blasphemy. How dare you put this on the show?
Is what?
Who is it? It's Guyza Dead asked, "Do you ever get tired of dabbing?" How the hell can we? No, we cannot. No. We're not talking about this.
Hear it out though. Like,
okay, let's hear it. What is it?
How long have you been dabbing for? And has the ritual of it gotten tiring to you? Or do you just keep buying new glass and like keep the excitement new, keep it flowing?
I would actually say, well, first off, I've been dabbing for 4 years, 5 years, somewhere in there. Okay, I don't know. So it's been a minute.
A noob. Okay.
Damn.
Tell us your noob ideas, please.
My noob ideas. I'm a big. I think that people don't know how to dab in the beginning and then learn how to dab as time goes on. I feel that I did not learn how to dab correctly until probably year 2 into dabbing.
Oh, for sure.
And that was after like all of these people going, no, you're doing it too hot. And then I was one of the proponents of, no, you can't have anything left in the banger, man. And
oh, damn.
Then you actually start learning the science and like, well, maybe I don't need to get it all to a crisp and stuff, and then you realize that you're actually damaging your cords.
If you're not scraping, if you're not scraping char off your banger after every dab, are you even dabbing?
Are you even dabbing, bro?
Come on.
Do you even?
There is definitely though, and I mean, just from being in the subreddit and stuff, like there's a decent little learning curve to it, and the steepness of that curve depends on how illegal that shit is where you live, which is really interesting to me. Like it's a total regional thing. And so if you're not around it a bunch, like you take the long way of figuring that shit out. And I mean, now obviously it's easier because you have the internet and shit and groups like the Dabs Discord and subreddit and stuff to kind of come and get some info on. But it wasn't always that way, boys and girls.
No, it wasn't. And a lot of people, like, even now, don't even know, like, the science behind a carb cap. Like, people just think, oh, it keeps the heat in. I mean, like, that is a factor, but that's not, like, why you use a carb cap.
Right.
Like...
And just the look on their face, like, the first time they get a good cap, and it, like... You hit it on the banger and it just milks up that rig. You're just like, whoa, that's a dab.
Right. Like there is a lot of science behind this that, I mean, you're kind of doing a science experiment in a sense.
Yeah, kind of. I think too, a lot of it for me, at least, like I went through I want to try every kind of glass thing. and then like all the different kinds of functions, and then I want all the different consistencies of dabs, and then it was just a flavor thing. It's like I want different flavors now.
I think I mean I don't really want to call anybody out here or anything, but there's somebody in the chat that goes apparently at 700 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah. I used to keep my email at 650. All day long. I get up in the morning, start the coffee maker, start the PlayStation,
the shit out of my
and that shit
finger.
just stayed there. And then every week, I would get some acetone, and I'd get this metal scraper, and I would scrape the fucking nail out and get all that black shit out of there.
Dude, even with a crappy Chinese banger, if you take care of your things and you're dabbing at the correct temperatures, you can keep that thing looking completely brand new.
Oh, yeah.
Completely. After a while, depending on the torch that you're using, it might start fogging up on the outside, but that's just because, like, if you're using propane, you're actually throwing a little bit of sediment on the outside of the banger. What is propane?
Propane's
I don't know.
a hydrocarbon. I mean,
is it throwing carbons on the outside of it?
I mean, you're burning them all. I guess if it's not pure, I don't know. I don't know how pure like camping propane is. I definitely wouldn't ever extract with it. Like,
well, I mean, you can see me heating up right now, though, right?
Oh, is it that time?
It is that time right now. I'm almost done heating up, and I think it's 4:20 for me. So, are you guys down for a dab? Is everybody ready?
It's time for a dab.
4:22. It's almost 4:22. So, let's hit this shit up, guys. Cheers.
This episode of The Hot Box is brought to you by Gary's Glass Adventure. Go to garysglassadventure.com and check out his shop for any of your dabbing needs. Gary's Glass has quality German quartz and bangers of all sorts. They come in all sizes, 10, 14, and 18 millimeter. Also available are quality ruby pearls and rigs from a variety of artists. Again, that's garysglassadventure.com. Use promo code R/dabs710 to get 10% off your order. This episode is also brought to you by Sweet Piece of Glass. Spog is an amazing website with lots of great pieces and a large assortment of accessories from artists like Chappelle Glass, Unlimited Glass, and Glassmith. Quartz by Jake Miser and J Red Glass. There's almost nothing you can't find from Spog. Matt always takes care of his customers, and if you're in the Discord, he'll often give you a deal. So join the Discord and check out his shop to pick out your very own functional piece of art. He can be found at sweetpieceofglass.com and in the Discord.
Man, that is just a perfect amount of time.
Who made that background beat? That shit is dope. I was almost about to like start spitting hot bars.
I mean, it sounds like it would be something on the Pirates album, wouldn't it?
It does. It sounds an awful lot like something I made.
So a little behind the scenes action. Matthew made that beat, and I don't know if many of you guys recognize that voice or not, but that is actually the one and only Tooth Sweet. He will not come on the show and talk, but he'll do a recording for ads that we listen to every single show. I'm getting mentioned somewhere. Apparently I screwed something up. What I do, but I would actually like to point out one thing, and I would actually like everybody to thank Mr. Matthew yet again, because how many giveaways have you sponsored now?
I don't even keep track. Doesn't matter. Eventually, everybody's gonna have a sweet piece of glass, and then I will go back to the fairyland that I came from, like Drop Dead Fred. Y'all ever watch Drop Dead Fred? If you haven't, go watch it, and then you'll understand what I'm saying.
I just picture like the 80s movie, like where the cool guy comes in with the sunglasses and he does everything, and he's like, "Hey," and then at the end of the movie, he's just like, Hey, and then fades away.
No, he's like an invisible friend, and he goes to help out this kid, and then like once the kid's been helped, he like disappears again and goes on to the next kid. But like they do a lot of pranks and shit. It's pretty funny. I really liked it when I was a kid. Like that was my jam. Drop Dead Fred.
I don't have a mute on my headset, by the way, Tooth. Get wrecked. Noob.
Let's see. Got an article from The Growth Op about pranks and weed and how maybe sometimes they send people to the hospital, I guess. Poorly conceived prank in which an Indian family consumed a dish containing what their neighbor assured was methy, which is fenugreek, whatever that is. But in fact, it was not. It was actually dried cannabis leaves, and it sent all 6 to the hospital in Uttar Pradesh.
Wait, what did they do?
It sent them to the hospital.
What did they do with it? They smoked it?
They ate it.
What? How would that send them to the hospital?
I don't know. The man is said to have given the packet of dried methi to a neighbor's son, who then gave it to his sister-in-law, who made what she thought was alco-methi or alu-methi. These are weird names. You guys ever eaten methi? Vinter says fenugreek is a spice. I'm sure I'm completely pronouncing that properly.
I mean, I like all my teeth, so I try to stay away from meth.
Shortly after consuming the dish, all family members began experiencing dizziness and feeling sick. Some even lost consciousness. Concerned neighbors were asked to call a doctor, and the police were alerted. The entire family was then taken to the hospital to be checked out. Police subsequently discovered the secret ingredient when they found the marijuana leaves and the remainder of the dish. The neighbor was
Sounds like they got that good.
and fessed up to the prank. But, like, the way they say it, it's like leaves. Like, did you really just fucking eat leaves?
There's
Hey.
no way. What would it do to you unless you had pesticides or something on it?
Well, I mean, if you're not... Hey, real quick, I think we're at the limit for the podcast. Can we open that up to, like, 5 more people or 10 more people? Temp Demon in the chat. We actually have 25 out of 25. I don't think that's ever happened before. Sorry. And thank you.
How about that?
There
Does that
you
do
go.
anything?
Still says 25.
I don't think we can have it any bigger. I think we might have maxed it out, my friend.
Really?
Damn.
That's weird. No, if you go in the settings... Oh, shit. User limit 99.
I set it to that. I don't know why it's not working. Tooth, fix it.
Tooth, pull that shit up, dog. Maybe it doesn't like 99. Like, can we just do like...
If they want to join
Okay.
a different channel, I'll move them up while we're talking.
I'm not going to fuck with it. I'll let you guys fuck with it.
If you guys join in the smoke lounge, I'll bring you up while we're talking.
And also in the article, they say that India isn't the only place where people are falling victim to these weed pranks. And I guess, I mean, if you don't smoke weed, we all know that when you eat weed, assuming that it's decarbed, it metabolizes into 11-hydroxy THC, which is more potent, and it will get you fucked up if you're not expecting it and if you don't have any kind of tolerance. So I guess the way they make it sound, though, like if you just threw some leaves in with food, like I don't think you're going to get that high. But now if you throw some like Moroccan hash after you cook it and it decarbs, or like some buds, then I believe that, if you're not used to it, it could definitely plant your dick in the dirt, as they say.
Plant your dick in the dirt. Has anybody ever actually like done that? Does that like
I don't
feel
think.
good?
I think it's a.
Should I be trying this? Is this like a new?
It's a metaphor.
masturbation?
A metaphor. It's a
But
poetic
metaphors-
license.
Metaphors had to come from somewhere.
It's a poetic license.
It's a poetic license.
Yeah.
Huh.
So is weed legal in India? Kind of. While flower or resin are definitely off limits for recreational, the weed-infused drink Bang is sometimes consumed during special and religious ceremonies.
I mean, if they're fucking the dirt, they might as well smoke weed.
Bang. That said, the push for full legalization and consumption of weed continues. The country did mark the opening of its first medical cannabis clinic earlier in 2020, and at least one India state has legalized cultivation of weed and its use for both industrial and medical uses.
You know, I'm actually surprised by that because they have wild weed growing in India too. A lot of the strains come from there.
And poppies. We're going to have to cut down some of these opium poppies to make room for some of this hemp.
At the same time, there is wild hemp growing throughout the United
sure.
States too,
For
along
sure.
the middle of the country. It's actually growing alongside the road. You can't pick it at all, obviously, but
And
it
I mean,
is.
you wouldn't want to if you've ever like seen hemp. I mean, I'm sure the stuff that like you guys are finding on Hemp Sheet or whatever that place is called, like if it's grown to be smokable, then it's probably going to be good. But like the majority of that stuff is just like it's grown like hay, like literally just like wheat or hay, and it's just a giant field, and a giant combine comes and like cuts it all down and bales it up, takes it to a fucking facility, and then we pack it into little bags, and then we run it. Some good news if you live in Austin. The police there are no longer going to cite or arrest people for possessing small amounts of weed.
What?
So that's pretty cool. They have essentially decriminalized the possession of a misdemeanor amount of marijuana. This is according to a police memo. Says APD will no longer cite or arrest individuals with sufficient identification for Class A or Class B misdemeanor possession of marijuana offense unless there is an immediate threat to a person's safety or doing so as part of the investigation of a high-priority felony-level narcotics case or the investigation of a violent felony.
See, and that's the way it should be, though. You shouldn't be... I mean, if somebody has a fucking quarter on them, why are you fucking with them? They're not selling pot. They're just getting high.
And, I mean,
Even
wasn't
an ounce.
Texas, like, one of those pretty strict... Kind of like Nevada was before they went rec. Like, it was a pretty zero-tolerance kind of situation there. Kind of like Idaho.
I have some friends in Texas, and it's very, like...
Like, you have a seed. You're going to jail forever.
Especially with dabs. Dabs, if you get caught with them, it's like fucking... like almost felony shit or something. It's stupid stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely whack. That like I saw it on a meme. I'm sure you guys all saw it, but it's like we're essential businesses in some states, but people are in jail for it in others. That you're just like crossing some rando imaginary line, and all of a sudden now you're a criminal.
I thought that. I mean, I actually had a run-in with that myself at one point in my childhood. But I actually thought that they were letting a lot of people out of jail with the whole virus thing going on.
Yeah. I think
so.
Also, like that article we read last week about how the certain cities that had like moratoriums and put the kibosh on any kind of weed stuff are like, well, our economy's kind of fucked, so I guess we'll bring weed back. Weed's okay after all. We were just kidding.
God.
They say with
they do need to send prohibition.
Yeah, completely. With the policy change, unless as part of one of those higher level investigations, officers who suspect someone possessed a misdemeanor amount of weed are instructed to seize the substance, seize the substance, write a report, and release the person with no pending charges. So they still gonna take your weed. You're just not gonna get charges. You won't catch charges.
I'm probably gonna get shit for this, but I'll give one extra entry for the first person that can guess the band of Seize the Day. Seize the Day? Who made the song Seize the Day?
I have no idea. It was a movie with Robin Williams where he was the teacher, Dead Poets Society.
I'm talking about a band that's from California. Oh, Eastern Dank got it. Avenged Sevenfold. Seize the Day.
A7.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh. Maybe I'll give you one, Sam.
Chalk him up an entry.
I will. I'll probably get shit for that, but it's worth it.
So, small baby steps like we've been seeing. And also in Virginia, lawmakers are announcing plans to legalize weed a day after their decriminalization, which is kind of interesting timing. Only a day after a new marijuana decriminalization law took effect in Virginia, top state lawmakers are announcing that they're already looking ahead to full-on legalization. A group of Democratic legislators on Thursday announced plans to introduce a bill to legalize and regulate a commercial cannabis market in the state. They introduced a bill to milk as much money out of your industry as they possibly can. But hey, it's legal now, so you're welcome.
It's like what Scuffles just said in the chat. He goes, how else are you going to get that tax revenue when no one else is working?
For real, though. Oh, God. That's funny. While the measure isn't set to be filed until next year, lawmakers frame legalization as necessary in the fight for social and racial justice. Decriminalizing marijuana is an important step in mitigating racial disparities in the criminal justice system, but there's still much work to do. It's House Majority Leader Charniel Herring. While marijuana arrests across the nation have decreased, arrests in Virginia have increased. Interesting. I wonder why that is.
Maybe because people aren't having to be criminals anymore to get their medication.
They say this bill will prevent low-level offenders from receiving jail time for simple possession while we move toward legalization with a framework that addresses both our pockets and the pockets of those who support us. Both my bag. Who's holding my bag? Both public safety and racial equity in an emerging market. Herring said of the new law, which she sponsored in the House, of delegates and Eben led in the Senate. The decriminalization measure also contains a provision to study future legalization. Not only now, but in the future, we will be taking a healthy cut. It requires a bevy of executive agencies, including the Secretaries of Agriculture and Forestry, Finance, Health, and Human Resources, and Public Safety and Homeland Security. Fuck it. Bring them all.
Since we're on the topic of legalization, I'm curious, Matt.
Sure.
If you want to touch on this at all.
Oh, I'll touch it.
I'll touch it. I'll touch it all day long. But obviously, we all agree that marijuana needs to be legalized and brought with stipulations so we can actually have a clean and, reputable source to go to for all of our medications or recreational use. But what do you think about other drugs?
I like
do you
other
think
drugs,
that those
sure.
should be legalized and just treated as like a sickness for people who are addicted? Or do you think that
at a certain point, you got to just let people do what they want to do, as long as they're not hurting other people, and then do your best to set up frameworks that can help, people that have bad issues, I guess.
Right. Like I think it always stems from some type of mental issue.
I think that's better than the alternative, which is treating it like you're a criminal because you're missing a hormone or a chemical in your brain that you're self-medicating with heroin or meth or whatever,
I agree. Or you're trying to escape something or from your past.
Yeah.
What have you. I agree 100%.
Getting thrown in a jail cell for that is not going to be the most positive experience in your life. I mean, I would say less jails, more ibogaine places, more ibogaine retreats.
And do you
if
feel
you really
that
want to get right? If you want to get right with God, let me tell you something.
I almost feel like it would be better too to have that stuff legalized so people who are over the age of let's just say 21 can go and get it if they want to. So it's not like you're getting fentanyl cut shit from somebody and then you end up dying.
The whole harm reduction aspect of it is definitely a huge part of it for sure. Like making sure that your oxys are actually oxys and your fucking benzos
in
are
the correct
actually
milligrams. You're used to 100 milligrams and you get 100 and it's a 500. And
honestly, it sucks to say, but at a certain point, people are gonna fuck themselves up and they're gonna kill
whether
themselves.
They want to. Yeah, whether you want them to or not.
It's gonna happen. What you can do is put measures in place that kind of help mitigate that to a certain point. And
so you can save the savable.
Yeah, and I think increase the overall, quality of life for everybody. But people, because it's been such a stigma, you can go to the hospital and get injected with whatever, and it's totally fine. But if you're doing it at your house or in an alley using muddy puddle water or whatever, it's had such a negative stigma for so long. I think we still have a few generations to go before we really see anything like that happen. But weed is definitely a good start. Mushrooms following that, psychedelics. I'm reading this, huge fan of LSD, and I got this book for my birthday last year, LSD, My Problem Child, and just crazy insights into what these guys were doing with LSD in the 20s and 30s and 40s and shit, and what we were doing with it. I don't know, that it's a really interesting history to read, and then to read how they put the kibosh on it before anybody was able to make any really nice strides in psychology and everything. But
right.
I think all of those psychedelics should definitely, Nihility says in the chat, psych should be legal, other stuff decrim. Treat weed like a supplement.
Stare at goats?
Yeah.
Tooth, we need to add that to our next watch movie. Men Who Stare at Goats. That's a great movie. Don't eat the eggs. I slice them with LSD.
Some good news in Nebraska, I think. This is Nebraska. Yeah, they're if you live in Nebraska, shout out to all my Nebraskans. But they have went out and collected enough signatures to get at least medical weed on the November ballot. So 182,000 signatures, which, if you think about it, like, that's pretty fucking impressive considering, like,
It's Nebraska. Nobody
well,
lives in Nebraska.
Nebraska for one, for sure. But then, like, the virus and, like, all of the other shit that's been happening, like, in the face of all of that, they're out there, like, hustling signatures and shit. And, like, I've done a little bit of this in Montana when they were going around getting votes for that. Like, it's not fun work. Like, knocking on people's doors and talking to them about stuff that they may not want to hear about. You kind of start to feel like a Mormon or a Jehovah's Witness, no offense, after a while.
Yep.
Just like,
And then,
can I tell you about weed and how it's not as evil as you think it is?
well, I mean, I don't think it was that bad for them because, I mean, it was Nebraska. Yeah. How many was it? 182,000?
183 people. No, 182,000.
That's at least like half of the houses are like, no, we're good with that.
Yeah.
So at least half the time they're chilling. They're chilling.
It's good shit, though. It's the more of these states that can go medical, the more of them will be able to go rec, and then the more the federal government will just be like, whatever, we're making money.
You bring a free pre-roll, I'm definitely signing that.
New patients get a free eighth. They say every one of these petition sheets that we're turning in today and every one of the signatures that we're turning in has a story about it, about a Nebraskan who had the courage to help us collect in patients who need access across our state. That's Lincoln Senator Anna Wishart, who's with Lincoln Senator Adam Moorfield, led the petition campaign. The number needed was about 122,000 signatures, more than 10% of the voters in the state. The campaign had to be put on pause for a time because of the pandemic, but got 123,000 signatures in June after signature collections began again. And those signatures will now be validated by the Secretary of State. And then, if you're in Nebraska, there's something worth voting for. Very, very rare are we presented with something worth voting. And I haven't read the bill, so I don't know if it actually is worth voting for or if it's just going to fuck Nebraskans over, kind of like they try to do in other states. But if it is a good bill, there is something worth voting for.
What? Politicians tried to sneak stuff in?
I know, it's crazy. What? They're all pedophiles? That's so weird. Unbelievable, you guys.
Well, I knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
You guys voted for them?
The expressed in this podcast are those of the individuals and not the Discord as a whole.
I thought this was an interesting article. I think Vinter posted this up last week in the chat. A piece about how cops are finding grow-ops with AM radios. It's just kind of an interesting story. It starts out, one of my colleagues, Kit Haskins, alerted me to the following article, How Cops Are Catching Grow-Ops with AM Radios. As a longtime EMI engineer, the headline certainly caught my eye. The article was posted by Keith Graves on his blog, police1.com, in February 2014. Graves is a police sergeant in the San Francisco area, and he described how police were starting to use AM radios in their vehicles to locate illegal indoor marijuana farms.
Those sneaky little bastards.
Right? These grow-ops are using arrays of large 1,000-watt high-pressure sodium or metal halide lamps driven by electronic ballasts. Most of those ballasts are imported from China, and the manufacturers of these have apparently made no attempt at complying with FCC emission standards. Your ballast is leaking. It's leaking across the street, yo. Consequently, they produce large amounts of radio frequency interference, RFI. This RFI has become a major nuisance to local radio amateurs and other users of the radio spectrum, as it can completely obliterate communications. In the meantime, the article has gone viral among the police community. While they realize not every source of RFI is a grow-op, they do use the technique as one of their tools. So... related to the article above, in September 2014, I visited the headquarters of the American Radio Relay League in Newington, Connecticut, where I had a chance to meet with the lead RFI investigator, Mike Gruber. Gruber was well aware of the issue to amateur radio operators and shared the ARRL's formal complaint to the FCC, dated March 2014. Prior to the complaint, Gruber also conducted extensive testing on 3 of these electronic ballasts, and the conducted emission data clearly shows peaks as high as 100 plus decibel dBUV, which is 50 decibel over the limit, in the range of 6 to 8 megahertz. Lower
Pretty much
peaks,
just screaming.
Yeah. So you have all of that leakage happening. Just know that you can easily detect it.
It sounds so efficient.
They say that the interference from these sources has been received as far as 2,500 feet away, or about a half a mile.
So how would you like zero that in?
It says that this guy he developed large filters that appear to work moderately well in minimizing the emissions, for trying to block the signal, I guess. While the FCC is aware of the interference and the fact many of these ballasts even have fake FCC stickers, they've not enforced the regulations as of yet. But
That's hilarious.
Imagine you just have a fucking signal sweeper and you're just out there water dousing basically, but for fucking EF signals, and there you go.
Just fishing.
And they do that too with heat, right? Your heat leaks, your ballast radio frequency leaks, everything is leaking. Your watering tank is probably leaking. But they have those helicopters with the infrared that they just go out and fucking, oh yeah, look, there's a giant hot spot in the middle of fucking nowhere. I wonder what that is.
Or would it be a cold spot if it's in the summer?
Yeah. It depends where it's at. Pretty interesting shit, though. I never would have even thought that sort of leakage was even a thing. But I guess if there's legit companies making legit ballasts, there's gonna be some knockoffs, right? There's knockoffs of basically everything in life.
There is.
This simulation we're experiencing might actually be a knockoff. I don't know.
I didn't have enough of those famous Amos cookies, so I had to go with the famous anus.
Not as good, right? Fucking
No, it tasted like shit.
fucking knockoffs, man. I'm telling you. You gotta be careful out there. In searches and seizures, we got one in Lake Elsinore. Deputies raiding illegal weed grows down there. 700 plants found inside a house on the north edge of Lake Elsinore Friday, July 3rd. Deputies raided the property. Investigation focused on the residence was initiated in recent weeks after deputies received complaints from the neighbors about possible illicit activity. What have we told you time and time again? If you're in a trap, be friends with your neighbors.
Give them free weed.
Got to. And if they don't smoke weed, just be your friend. Eastern Tank, all caps, give your neighbors weed. If they want weed. If they don't, find what they love and give that to them. Become their
Drop
best
off some
friend.
alcohol.
Right?
Drop off some money, or just leave them the fuck alone.
Envelopes of money. Honey, ever since these new neighbors moved in, we've been getting random envelopes of money under our door. That's cool.
You think we should call the cops? No, I want that new car.
I want that money.
It works.
They said during the search warrant service at the property, deputies confiscated 750 cannabis plants in various stages of growth. City code enforcement officers and Southern California Edison technicians responded to the residence, and it was deemed uninhabitable due to various building code violations.
Uh-oh.
A real trap house.
A real trap house.
So be careful out there. If your EMF isn't leaking, your neighbors might be. So, like Scupples says, man. Love your neighbor. And if they still don't like you, move. Those are wise words.
Yeah, that's
wise words, man.
That brings us just about to the end of the show, though, doesn't it?
Yep. Do you want to shout out the boosters?
I would love to shout out the boosters, but first, I want to talk about our giveaway again real quick.
Yeah. Now that we got more people here, there's a post in the announcements channel. Check that out. Got this little pelican 1150 right here. And inside it is stickers. Cool. Got a Sarglass wedge dabber made for this diamond knot, which will go into, set that there, this little
Pretty.
candy bottle. Sour Gang Imperial Glass, the purple
That's so
and
cool.
green, signed 5-hole perk puck. So check out the announcements post, and I'll also copy that into the show notes for this episode over at hotbox.earth. And yeah, thank you all for the ride. It's been awesome. And next week, like I said, we're going to have Murphy Murray on talking about extraction and CRC and all sorts of stuff. So if you have any questions, get those to me or Gran, and we'll make sure to get them included into the show doc. And yeah, if you want those extra entries, if you use Instagram, you can make a video in your story or on a post. And then if you go to the music thing, you can search for my album Virus Diaries, or just search for my name, Matt Lee, Matlee, and pick a song and just make a video. And then let us know that you did that, and we'll get you another entry. And then if you're a booster in the Discord here, you're going to get double whatever entries that you got. So you can donate also. Dollar per entry, I think, is what it says.
So if you donate $1, you get 1 entry, and if you're a server booster, you get $1. You get two entries.
Yep, just gonna double your entries. So
that's right.
Hell yeah. Well, anything else we need to get?
We got
to?
our VIPs. Our VIPs are me, you, Mr. Matt. We have Milk Mother, Ace of Spades, Eastern Dank, Vic, Dr. Zodiac, Diamond, Swagrat, Turpin Derp, and that's it. So we need to get some more of you in there. Get us up to 3. We are going back to hopefully going to become the we have to wait for all the applications to get open, but we're going to become a partnered server so we can get all of our boosts and everything pretty much all automatically done. But our VIPs always get kind of behind the scenes stuff. Sometimes they get free videos, like they got the 1 gram dab live. They seen that happen.
Oh yeah, that went down live.
That went down, and maybe if you're lucky, I'll do a 5 gram reclaim dab.
And you want to mention that that's why the most favorite channel, the NSF Dub channel, had to take a hike ski.
Yes, because we are going to be a partner channel, we're actually going to have to get rid of the not safe for work channel. So when the applications open up, we will be letting everybody know that it will be removed soon, and then we will be removing it. So get used to it now. Fucking use it and have the fappening happen. Whatever.
Oh,
I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do, get it out of your system before we have to get rid of it. We're going to have to go back to not safe for work.
Awesome. So you can email info@hotboxpodcast.com, hotbox.earth. That's the website. We're on Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts, all that stuff. So just listen however you like to listen. Spotify.
The YouTubes.
Yeah, we'll just be seeing you throughout the week in the Discord chat. And guys, stay safe out there. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Have a good one, guys. Nice dabbing.